paranormal. It surrounds us. It's everywhere. Tonight, you will hear from the people who live and work within these highly active locations, all in the efforts to discover America's most haunted. With your host, ghost hunter and author, Dan Terry.
Good evening, boys and ghouls. I am Dan, your ghost host with the most haunted, and we are going back up to New York. I think I've been there once before, but now we got a whole new team we're going to discuss. Their name is Empirical Paranormal, as in Empire State. It's based in southern New York, and it focuses on searching for proof of spirits, intervention if the spirits are causing problems with the family, and of course they use the latest technology, and they are a member of the TAPS family. So this one's going to be interesting. There's some really good people. Let's bring up Gina, Amy, and Dom. Guys, welcome to North Carolina. And I'm sorry for the beginning, folks. I got to tell you all, one of the new shows on our network somehow got onto mine, and I couldn't stop it when I started it. It was a mess, but we're back now. Everything's cool, and I can't wait to hear from these folks because they have done some pretty amazing things. Gina, what got you all together?
Well, back when I was younger, I experienced some paranormal things in my life throughout my whole life. And I investigated on my own back in the 90s. You know, I had the old tape recorder with the cassette tape and all that. And I would set it up and I would start listening to the EVPs and stuff. So later on in life, I still kept having experiences. So I met up with a team that was already around at the time, and they were called Empirical Paranormal. So I joined the team back in 2015, and then I became the director of the team in 2018, and I've been the director since. And then I had my son join, and he'll tell you all about that. But we all had the same experiences, so, and that's why we became a team, like, together.
Amy, how'd you get involved in this?
Well, I was depressed and I was looking for something to do outside of my house, and I was, at the time I was watching a lot of the ghost shows that I had you know, kind of gone through my 20s watching, and I was like, you know what, maybe I should look into this for real, you know, this time. Okay. This was about going on 5 years ago, huh, Gina?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I emailed Empirical, and they were like, yeah, we want to interview you at Dunkin' Donuts. And I was like, okay, that's, you know, I was like, that sounds good. You know, I'll go down there. So we ran it like a real interview. You know, she ran it like a real interview, and I was prepared for it, thankfully. And we just meshed. You know, we talked a lot during it, and you know, I after it, I bugged the heck out of her. She's a very busy lady, but I just bugged the heck out of her until she let me keep coming with them. You know, and that seemed to work. So I keep doing that, and yeah, I love it. I'm an investigator. We have been in some great situations together. So,
Yeah.
And Dom, I understand how you got into this, apparently, right?
Yeah. She had me join in the means of, she co-opted me one Sunday when they were having computer problems. Kind of going over EVPs, and somehow I'm still here, like years later. No, I love it. I've had paranormal experiences since I was a baby. Like, my earliest formative memory is actually a paranormal experience as a kid back in the 90s, like as a baby.
Well,
at
fill
like
us
20
in.
years old. So we lived in an apartment that was very haunted, and I had a lot of toys that were being played with, and it was messing with my mom. And one night I was laying in my crib, and I can remember it still plain as day now. I'm 35 now, and I can still remember it. Laying there, looking up at the ceiling, and this like whitish mist kind of showed up, and it turned into like this cartoon looking cow almost. Like it wasn't trying to scare me, it just was just trying to like kind of look over my crib or something.
Okay.
And it was just kind of hovering there, and it disappeared, and it kind of came back up through my crib and was just kind of hovering over me. And I wasn't afraid of it. I wasn't afraid of it at all. It just kind of like stayed there for a little, and it disappeared. And my mom said I like went up, like the cow came through my crib. The cow came through my crib, and she had experiences with stuff like that happening in the apartment. So, yeah, it's kind of what got me into it. And I've always had abilities my whole life. I've always been able to pick up on spirits around the room. I'm empathic and everything. So.
Okay, so you do both empathic work as well as tech?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Gina, we talked a little bit earlier, but you said you've got some really great stories. Let's start with Pennhurst. Tell us about that.
Well, we go to Pennhurst Paracon every year, and there was like these mini investigations that they had for like $30 or so. So we picked to go to the tunnels, Pennhurst tunnels. So we got in there, and of course, you're with a group of people. And we're thinking, oh, we probably won't get anything, kind of going in there, kind of like, but we'll go anyways,
Mm-hmm.
So we got in there, and the group of people went one way, and then to the left was like another part of the tunnel, but it was like a dead end. So me, Dominic, and Amy were all together, the three of us actually, on this investigation, little mini investigation. And then so we were asking questions and things, and Amy was telling a story about, her family having mental health to the spirits, to just kind of tell them, to make them feel comfortable to talk to us and things like that. So she told her story, and then we just went down there with like a cat ball, a REM pod, and our recorders. So the REM pod went off, and then also the cat ball went off. So I said, thank you. So a voice came out and said, you're welcome, right in between like Amy, Dom, and I. And we all heard it. And it was an amazing experience. It was a disembodied voice. Okay. And we actually caught it on our EVPs, And then what was it? Then we're asking like what the name was, what's your name? And then we got an EVP that we didn't hear, right, Amy?
Right, we didn't hear it.
And it said, I'm Joyce, after we asked for the name. And then after that, we got this other voice that we didn't hear either. And it said, how dare she? Just like that, because it seemed like it was mad that the other spirit was talking to us.
So
we could probably some links, Gina. We could probably send them some links to some stuff, right?
Yeah.
Maybe if people want to hear it,
yeah.
We'll save it for next time, because I like to put those right here on the screen while we're talking.
Oh yeah, sure.
So,
yeah.
But next time we'll do that.
We would love to do that.
Do you think the spirit may have been like an abusive guy that had harassed her? And what's your opinion?
Well, I think it was really pissed because this Joyce spoke to us, and I think the spirit, whatever it was trying to keep everybody from speaking to us. It was like almost like in charge of everybody, and it didn't want it to communicate at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's our feeling on it.
There was some other menacing sounds that we caught as well. Remember?
Yeah.
Chopping sound that sounded like
a saw.
Like cutting, like saw.
Yeah, it sounded like somebody was taking like a hacksaw to like corrugated aluminum. There's like that kind of noise.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was also disembodied. Like we heard that I've
that was behind like a boarded up locked door. Like there would have been nobody on the other side of that door.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was the craziest 10 minutes I've
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the most exciting, craziest experience that we've all had. It was, we all looked at each other like, oh my God.
Like, how does that happen? That was nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
all
crazy.
The years I've done this, I've heard a voice like you were describing one time, and your guys are coming right out with it there. That's awesome.
That was amazing. We want to go back now and find Joyce.
Yeah. All the time, like we're serious. We'd love to go back there in the tunnels and find her, but it's just so hard to, plan and go there and access the right part of the tunnels, and but we really feel like, that level of intelligence with a spirit is not that common. You know what I mean? Like the level of intelligence and ability that she showed as a spirit is uncommon, and that's like something I would like to go back and be like, can we find this in the mess of spirits that is Penhurst? Can we actually locate this individual again? That's like something I think about a lot.
Yeah.
I think we'd have to start like back in that spot to do it too. Like almost like start where the breadcrumbs start and then follow them.
Yeah.
At the same time of year or something, like, like we would love to replicate and find like that same entity again, if possible,
or even something else. Even you never know.
So you should go back and just ask Joyce to speak and see what happens. She may do it again.
We've been trying to figure out how to get there for 3 years now. So
yeah.
Okay. Well, the first time, Gina, that I contacted you, you was going to a meeting or something then, wasn't you?
Where we went to the New Jersey Pure Unity Expo in New Jersey. It was a great time. We had an awesome time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. Well, Dom, what about you? What's a good story you've been involved in?
Oh, man. Well, one I tend to always kind of come back to, because to this day I still really can't explain it, was a long time ago at a place up here in Elmira, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Up in Elmira, one of our other teammates and myself were walking around this house that these guys had sort of, they kind of cut it down the middle. They were going to make one side into like a Airbnb style thing, and the other side they would turn into like a haunted house every year. And they had like these walls up that were on hinges, and they would like kind of be able to move around and everything. We had been walking through that house all night, no problems. Everything was great. We knew where we were going. I have pretty good situational awareness when it comes to things like that. I'm great with mazes. So like getting through that's pretty good. It was a couple hours into the investigation, and we're walking around the house, and I suddenly realized that we're completely walking in circles. We keep ending back up at the same part of the house on the same floor. We go upstairs, we go downstairs, we try to go up another flight of stairs. Somehow we always end up back at this one central area that was really far away from our base camp.
Okay.
And we're just like, what is going on here? So we start taking all these different ways. We start even going like backward to think that maybe, we're just tired. The maze is starting to confuse us, whatever. We even went into the other side of the house where the B&B section is. Still had no clue where we were going. We couldn't find our way back to this like staircase in the foyer that would lead to the right area. Mm-hmm. And we wandered around for a good 45 minutes. And it just seemed like no matter where we were going, the house did not want us to find our way back. It just kept changing. It kept altering our courses. We were hearing noises on the floors below us thinking, oh, the rest of the team must be down there. We'd race down there. Nobody was there. We heard a toilet flush in a bathroom that was off a hallway where nobody had been the whole night. Mm-hmm. And we thought that maybe somebody was in it. So we went down there. We're like, hey, who's down there? Like, we can't find our way back. Do you guys know where the base camp is? Silence. Nothing. And the house was giving us like this really bad sense of vertigo the whole time we were walking through it as well. Like something I had not felt like much at all earlier in the night. And I tend to only get vertigo if I'm going to have a migraine. So I was kind of like feeling like, oh, great, I'm going to get a migraine while I'm here. Never did. Just waltzing around this house in the complete dark, feeling like an idiot, completely dizzy, just unsure what was going on. And eventually the house just sort of spat us back out. and just put us right back where we needed to be without even thinking about it. We wandered around a corner and boom, there's base camp. And we're like, what? Like, how did we get here?
This is like some real Blair Witch stuff going on.
Yeah, it felt like it. It felt like it. All we needed was somebody carrying around a handy cam, and we could have made the whole movie. That's all we needed.
I bet you wish you had one now, too.
I do. I really do.
Well, this house had several layers to it, too, because it was two houses that they made into, like, they connected them. So, like, at first it was a house for the Civil War women. The husbands would pass and they would take in the women and children. And then it was an old orphanage. And then later on, and years later, it was also old folks' home. So there was a lot of death in this house, a lot of layers, and it was just a crazy place. I mean, it was just amazing. And unfortunately, the place burnt down. There was a fire and it burnt down. So we went there at least, well, I went there at least 5 times.
Yeah, I went there about 3.
Yeah. Okay. The place was amazing. It was haunted, believe me. We heard little girls like giggling. And they heard it on the one side of the house. At the same time, we heard a giggle on the other side of the house, the other house.
Yeah,
it was just crazy. It was weird. And you'd be walking, and it would sound like somebody's walking behind you. And yeah, it was nuts.
Dom said something that I wanted to ask about, and it's the way you said it, and you said it more than once. The house was doing it.
Yeah.
Do you think the house itself had a soul, a spirit, or a curse, or something evil? What do you think was causing that?
So I firmly believe that houses, building structures, they all absorb energy. They're all sponges. Okay. They can take in even this conversation. You know, any sort of energy put out is energy put in. And if enough of it is kind of collected in a space for enough time, especially if you're thinking that, you know, somebody had turned this into a very complex haunted house at some point, the amount of people going through it with a lot of energy and the history of the house in general, it's very charged, very, very full. And I do believe maybe it wasn't necessarily the house itself. Like, obviously the walls weren't moving around. It wasn't like some kind of clockwork mechanism that was like changing where we were going. But I do firmly believe that the energies within the house, within the walls, possibly even the spirits that were roaming around there may have wanted us to feel a very similar feeling to maybe how they felt just in general. And, you know, the complexities of trying to navigate posthumously, you know, as energy. And we're just sort of trying to help us relate to them in that, hey, we're lost, we can't really find our way sort of idea.
Similar to dementia?
Yes, actually. Because it would really feel like that whole, like, I recognize this space. I recognize where I'm at. It feels so familiar, but I can't put my finger on it.
Was there any other feelings that might represent what the kids were feeling, or the widows, the grief, something like that?
Definitely a good amount of grief. Very good amount of grief. Like I said, I was getting like a weird vertigo feeling in the house. You know, throughout the house, it wasn't like one specific part. It was like the whole structure, and I'm not normally prone to it.
And
go ahead.
And then, like, one of the other investigators came down the same set of stairs I did later on, and we both got nauseous and sick in the same spot as we were coming down the stairs, and you got that vertigo type of feeling as well. And it's just, and that house seemed to call to me. It was like, I always like wanted to go there. Something was like drawing me there. You know, I felt like I had to go there all the time, you know?
The way you've described the history, I would love to get into a place like that. I mean, the widows, the grief they must have been feeling, the children, the abandonment issues they must have felt. Yeah. And then the older folks with their uniques. But you said also that you don't think anything was moving these walls, even though they were designed to do that. How do you think you was ending up back in weird places where you wasn't supposed to be? Any idea?
I honestly couldn't tell you, because the way they had this whole thing set up, it was like a one side is in, one side is out. Like, in order to get turned around, you'd have to almost kind of go around the whole house and like go up flights of stairs and cross over and come back down. And I felt like we were getting turned around on the same floors and somehow ending up back where we were without going through the whole place. It was really peculiar to me.
But you don't really have a theory on how that was possible.
I don't. I can't even begin to explain it.
Amy, was you there for this one?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, Gina, what's your opinion on this? Was the walls being moved? Was you all being, I don't know, somehow lost, forgetting by these spirits or something?
I almost feel like the house was controlling us while we're in there. Kind of like you said, like almost like a dementia type feeling and controlling us while we're in there. And it was like almost like trying to not like keep us in there, but like keep us from like trying to investigate what we're looking for, and trying to, investigate and, trying to help these spirits if we could. And it just felt really off. And it felt very, how could I say, very like not dark, but kind of like the feeling was just not good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was very
heavy, very heavy the whole time we were there and every time we went there.
Okay. I felt places like that, but the rest of what you said, I've been doing this for over 40 years and I've never sensed anything like you're talking about. This almost sounds evil.
I don't think it was evil. I just think like there was probably a lot of negative energy, but I don't think it was like evil. Okay. I think just because a lot of negative things happen there with, the feeling of the women being sad, the children being sad, and then the older people, it was like a negative energy there. There was, like I said, there was a lot of deaths in that building. So I kind of feel like it was more like a negative energy than it was evil.
That was the place that I crawled up inside the oven, right?
The crematorium?
Yeah, the crematorium.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sat inside. Down in the basement, they still had the foundation where the crematorium's like oven was. And
so this place actually cremated their own members?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, and what, Don, did you find there?
Sorrow. a lot of sorrow. That I think the energy of the whole place was more chaos than it was anything, but that particular little bubble, this little like 6x3 concrete square inside the ground was like just a bubble of sorrow, just so sad. And it was eerie. It was very eerily quiet in that little spot too.
Well, let me ask you, just because the house burned down, what do you think happened to the spirits?
I think they're still there.
Yeah.
It's not, they haven't destroyed the house completely yet. I think they're still there. And I think they're still going to remain there. No matter like what is put there, they're still going to remain there in that area.
Well, very likely. I just, I would like to think they could be free after that.
Yeah,
but if they're trapped by their own memories and feelings, then that ain't going to do anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I think there was hundreds and hundreds of spirits there. I really do. I mean, like I said, with the layers that were there, with the old folks home, and then you had the orphanage and all that, there's so many spirits there. A lot of tragedy.
Y'all have managed to creep me out on this one, and that's rare. Most times the guests can't do that, but just the idea that this thing could, whatever it is, could take out your sense of direction, could totally change your sense of where you're at. That's some powerful stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was the most craziest place that we've investigated, really.
Crazy is the word I would use for
it.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that was great. Let's come back in a little bit, but I do want to break here for just a quick minute for a commercial. We're almost at 25 minutes already. So, Joe, wait. I will be right back. All right, guys. I don't know what to say on this one. Like I said, this is some Blair Witch stuff going on. If they could change how you sense your location, your sense of direction, dang, that's crazy. Like she said, that's crazy. That's the only word I can come up with. And let me show you a couple things here that's not so much crazy, it's just informative, and I'll be right back.
The new book, How to Research a Haunted House by paranormal investigator Margie Kay and professional researcher Violet Wisdom, is now available from Unex Media. This one-of-a-kind book explains how to do research on a house with uncommon methods and resources used by historic home researchers, and how to determine who may be doing the haunting and why. How to Research a Haunted House can be used by homeowners, renters, investors, and it should be in the library of all professional paranormal investigators. Get this unique book at unexmedia.com or amazon.com. That's unexmedia.com or amazon.com. The Unex Network presents a health and wellness spiritually based brand of hemp-derived CBD products made by Hopewell Farm in Harrogate, Tennessee. We apply our Cathara energy work with all of our plants and products. Our products made in small batches with only 2 ingredients of pure hemp, full-spectrum crude oil, and coconut-derived MCT oil. Third-party lab tested for potency and legal THC levels with 6 strengths of 1 ounce oil to choose from. Know what you're buying and get what you pay for from Hopewell Farm. Applied directly to a specific area, Hopewell Farm topical salve in 1 ounce and ½ ounce sizes, made with pure hemp crude oil, comfrey extract, and all natural ingredients. Find the Hopewell Farm link and coupon code on the Unex Network website at unexnetwork.com. That's unexnetwork.com.
Hey, friends, I do want to remind you of joining the Unex Network and how easy it is. Well, of course, we'll talk more about that at the end of the show. But boy, I cannot get my head wrapped around something so powerful that you could actually get lost in a building with 4 walls and a ceiling. I mean, how do you do that? But that's crazy. So let's get back here. We'll talk to Gina and Amy and Dom. And Amy, you had to sit that whole one out. Give me a story from your world.
Well, this is kind of a lot more lighthearted, but I want people to know that we are big debunkers too. We might have some wild stories that are true, but we are out there to debunk. And recently, this last year, we heard this crazy sound on an investigation. And that location, it's hard to tell sometimes whether it's like inside the house or if it's outside the house and whatever. And we, of course, who did we send outside? Was it Dominic and Denny?
Yeah.
Yeah, we sent them out there, and it turns out there was a skunk screaming outside of the building, and like this crazy sound that might, by some people, might get interpreted the wrong way on an investigation. But it was we call it the Great Skunk Debunk.
And that's happened to all of us if we actually set out to find out the truth and not just looking for the good stories. So
right.
What other Gina has your team done that worked together on?
We've gone to the 1890 house in Cortland, New York, and we've had some really neat experiences there as well. And we've had disembodied voices that we've caught on EVPs. And we've had some amazing stuff happen there. Let's see. Let's see. Amy, what do you got? Let's see.
Well, we recently went to Gettysburg.
Oh, that too, yeah.
Talk about Gettysburg.
Yeah, we talked about that before the show.
Yeah, that was awesome because it was part party and part investigating, which we really like. We like to have a good time, and so it was hosted by the Taps family, the heads of Taps family. The ghost hunters were there. Jason Hawes, Sherry D. Benedetti, and Steve was there as well. Tango had a family thing, but so it was awesome as we got to go there and we had a nice big fancy dinner with everybody, and then we got to investigate the Jenny Wade house and the orphanage across the street, and it was kind of a combo deal. And again, we get lucky in like places where we only have certain amounts of time. Like we have no time. We'll sit there for 4 hours at places like really, and we'll be like this again. And but then we go to these places for like 45 minutes, and it's like popping off like crazy. And the one that we caught a light anomaly on video near Gina's head, and then one of our investigators, I'll edit it for the show, but it said, "Oh shoot, I pulled her hair."
Because I said something tugged on my hair.
So something just tugged on my hair, and then we got an EVP that said, "Oh shoot, I pulled her hair." So that was a pretty like interesting one. I guess that even spirits don't necessarily like you, just because you get your hair tugged doesn't mean that it was violent, or they were probably just trying. There's a room full of people. I just picture this poor spirit trying to go back and like get out of the way of all these people. And there's a constant flow of people at Jenny Wade and the orphanage. There's just constant. We got some really good evidence in the orphanage as well. But there was just like here and there, like it was just really weird. Like we, like I said, we weren't in there very long. But both those places are incredible. So if if anyone who watches this program has the ability to go to Gettysburg and investigate or at least tour those two places, we really recommend that.
Yeah.
Well, I've had the owner of both places on the show, and they are just the sweetest people.
Yeah.
They have called me and you got to come down. This is great. You got to come down.
It is really good.
It is.
It is. Really, it's so good.
Yeah.
We had the best time. We had the best time in town. We used this GPS location software on my phone to tour the whole battlefield, and we were able to take our time and get out and look at it. And there's just we toured a World War II museum as well. That was down for it. We just had a great time there as a team, and that's like what we're all about. We like to go to these big events, but we like to have a nice time like while we go to them. That helps us, bond as a team and stay together and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I know you all have done a lot of raising money for historic buildings, old buildings, theaters. Do you investigate those places as well?
Yes. Yes, we do investigations throughout the year, like private ones as well. So that way we can gather more information. And then when we do these public events, we could say, well, we caught this here and we did this here and we debunked this. And, so they have something to go on as well as we do these tours. And we have these the public investigate with us. So they're just not standing around watching us. They're actually, we want them to be a part of it and be a part of the investigation. So we tell them, bring your equipment. And if you have something, bring it. If not, you could use your phone. There's best recordings on your phone, or you could take pictures or video.
No
apps though. We're not big on apps. But we tell them that, they could be a part of this. We want them to be a part of this, and that's what they're paying for. Okay. And all the proceeds go back to these places that we investigate to help preserve these buildings.
And you said last year you made over $6,000. So far this year, you're at $5,000.
Yes.
Just to help with the preservation and the work on these old buildings.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Saving history is always a big deal for me, anyway.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Don, what's your opinion on what you do? Would you like to do more of it, or?
So I've kind of gotten a lot more involved than I used to be. Especially when it comes to like the whole preservation of history. My main focus in life has always been like history. I originally wanted to be a history teacher when I left high school and everything. and a historian and everything like that. So I'm all about preserving history, especially in our small little towns where a lot of history, local history especially, is constantly being paved over for another parking lot. It's really disheartening to see that happen, especially in an area like ours. It's so rich on a lot of things that became staples in the world being forgotten about. I mean, we had the time clock invented here. We had IBM founded here. We had a lot of stuff founded in this area. And a lot of the war effort was done here in the Second World War, thanks to EJs and everything. So seeing a lot of that going away really makes me sad. And so being able to be more involved with the community, be more involved with the outreach for historical preservation, it's a massive, massive like mission of mine. That's kind of where I'd love to be involved in stuff like this.
Okay. Gina, do they come to you or do you contact them? How do you get into this?
We do both. We've contacted people as well, and they've contacted us. But, we tell them when we do contact them, we tell them that, this is what we're about. We raise money and we want to help preserve your building. And then they'll put things out there like, we're trying to raise money to help preserve this building. So we would contact them in some way or another. And there's this one place in Binghamton called Castle on the Hill. It's an old asylum, and it's actually falling apart. And we so badly want to get in there and just help preserve that building so badly. And I mean, that's a big part of history right there in our area. It used to be an inebriate asylum at one time, and then it's like so old. It's like a big, huge castle. And,
yeah, literally.
Yeah, and there's other buildings also on the premises that are falling apart as well. And we hate to see that history go. And it's such a beautiful, extravagant building. It's just gorgeous inside and out. So we love to get in there, and we're trying. We're really trying really hard. We're scheming different ways of trying to get a hold of people and see if we can get in there, right, Amy?
Yeah. My background to all of this fundraising stuff is I've actually worked for 7 nonprofits throughout my life.
Okay.
So I just gravitate towards. I don't know why I can't get away from it. I've tried to quit so many times. Please, somebody help me. But I gravitate towards fundraising and also it helps to be honest, yes, like we are looking for something out of it, but it's not money. It's an experience. It's hopefully like what we'd like to do is negotiate, a private investigation in exchange for a public one, because then we get to investigate a cool place, and then we'll do one, with the public, which we still get plenty of evidence on, honestly, even with public investigation. We get people to be very quiet during it. And, it's a win-win, so like we get to go into a place maybe other people don't get to go into, you know what I mean? Because we are volunteers.
There has been several places I've got to go into that is gone now. My stories and the other people who's been in them is all that's left.
Right.
Illinois Asylum for the Incurably Insane. Amazing place. They tore it down within a year of my being there.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's sad.
In Missouri, there was a truck stop on Route 66 since the 1940s. And Elvis had been there. Marilyn Monroe had been there. All kinds of famous people. And I just watched that building deteriorate. And I was still doing public events in it, but they weren't taking care of it. Got hit by a tornado last March. Totally destroyed. So it's the fact that you're saving these buildings is great. It's awesome.
Thanks. Yeah, that's what we're about. I mean, it's, when to be a paranormal investigator, you got to be into the history of these places, and it's all about history. And, and when you investigate these places, it's all also about helping preserving these places so you can go back and keep it for generations to come, for the near future as well, because there's just so much history, especially like Dom said, in this area, there is so much history. And, you know, it's to help preserve it. I mean, it's a big thing for us. So,
well, what kind of place have you helped that you've had some really great experiences in?
There's one museum called the Phelps Mansion.
Okay.
And we've had some good things happen there. We've had a doors slam. We've heard voices. We always have at least a piece of equipment or one or more still go off.
Lots of good EVPs.
Lots of good EVPs there.
Most of the time there, you know, we have got some good disembodied voices, but a lot of EVPs, stuff that you don't hear at the time that you're there.
Okay.
I don't know, it just always seems to deliver when we go there. It really does.
Yeah.
Always something. There's always something going on there. It's not always off the charts, but there's always something going on there, and you can feel it.
Yeah.
What kind of condition is this building in at the moment?
Beautiful.
Really?
Okay.
Just gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
They take really good care of it. It's, you know, they have guided tours, all kinds of different events. You can have your wedding down there. It's awesome down there. It's really a jewel of our community.
Okay. Guys, I did all my work for the most part in the Midwest. Missouri, Kansas, Illinois, Arkansas, even Oklahoma. Then right now I'm in North Carolina, so I'm right here by Virginia. I'm living 7 miles from the border. But I don't know anything about New York. What makes that place that haunted?
Well, it's a colonial state for one.
Yeah.
You know, it goes way back to the founding of the country. There's spirits that probably have been in these lands since before the colonists ever stepped foot on the beaches. You know, there's a lot of Native American history up here. There's a lot of bloodshed up here. There's a lot of the, you know, spirit of America that was built up in here. You know, New York and Boston were and Philadelphia were the shining jewels of America for a long time. And in our little area, especially up in the southern are, we live in a river valley that's rich, fertile farmland. And specifically around us, there's 3-4 different native tribes that have been in this area. They've discovered, you know, remains along the riverbanks of villages that nobody even knew about or were on maps that were lost to time. And there's just really old energy here. Very sleepy old energy.
They even found a Civil War camp right downtown Binghamton.
Yes, they did.
Along the river. So.
Yep. And there was no record? They didn't know this existed?
No.
It was a temporary encampment. It was just for, you know, troops on the march. It wasn't like a fort or anything like that. It was just men being moved to the lines. I think it was a mustering station, like a mustering camp or something like that.
So was you able to do anything there? Or was that just look what we found and move on?
Well, they did digs there. Binghamton University did some digging there, also along the rivers for the Native American areas as well. So there is a lot of places that we can go to around the area that we can investigate along the river. You know, I'm sure we would find something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you should maybe try that.
Yeah.
Civil War was my forte because Missouri was a border state, so there was a lot of fighting there, and that's one of the things I really was into was ghost hunting places like that. So it sounds like you've got a perfect spot right there.
Oh yeah.
I've always had an ambition of doing like battlefield investigations. Like even long before I ever joined the team, I always wanted to go to Europe and travel along all the World War II battle sites and see what kind of things I could do there. You know, starting at Normandy, going all the way to Berlin.
That would be cool. It's expensive though.
I'd probably backpack it if I ever did it, honestly.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. What's one more good story for us in the last 10, 12 minutes we got?
Let's see. Good. I would say the 1890 house, right, Aim? We got some good stuff in there.
Yeah, evidence-wise. Yeah, if we're going to talk evidence-wise.
Yeah.
1890 house. What's the history of this one?
Well, the gentleman that owned the house, he actually he developed, the screen for your windows.
Uh-huh.
He actually made the screen for your windows, so you have a screen.
Yeah, so
you can keep bugs out and stuff.
Screen when the bugs aren't coming in, and you're safe inside your house in North Carolina.
Okay.
And, there's no bugs coming in. It was Chesterwick wire.
Yeah.
That's a big deal in the South, keeping the mosquitoes out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So this is also a beautiful, well-kept mansion. They have a whole director and board of director. This is a very well-kept jewel of the Cortland area. And so we started, after a hiatus, we started going there this year again. And man, the first private investigation we had really had us hooked. It was just so many. We had our Gina. We had things happen, like, when you're doing investigations, one of the tricks is to try to get it to answer to the shave and a haircut.
Sure.
And we had a response on that, but it was on.
Sorry, had to do that.
It was on a music box instead, like one of the paranormal music box. And so it was like you hear like a ding ding like after that, and that was pretty awesome.
Okay.
We had disembodied screams.
Yeah.
Disembodied voices. It was really crazy.
They seemed very excited that we were there. The house hadn't been investigated in a while, so it was ready for us. The house was ready for us to come in there and talk to it. So we just got so many things that in that one night that it was pretty unbelievable. Like, even times when you think you're alone, I'm like, I said, Gina and I were in this room together, and down the hall a ways, another couple of our team members were doing something. You're kind of jealous because there was nothing really going on in our room, but you never know what's going on when you feel like nothing's going on, So I was just kind of there, and I'm like, hey, you got a nice bedroom here, and EVP just goes, thanks, like it was like, wow. When I heard that, I was like, wow, like, because when you're investigating, there's times where you're like, it's dead in here. You really think you're alone, and like not much is going on, but like, sometimes it really surprises you. I like to be surprised on my evidence reviews where I thought nothing was happening, and then there really was something going on there that it just wasn't visual. We didn't see it. We didn't hear it.
How many times have you done this place?
This last year we were there 3 times. This last year.
Okay.
They used to go there a long time ago. Then there was a hiatus, and now we're back. So.
Okay. Yeah, and we did a couple public investigations there as well.
Yep, and we're planning on having some special guests come with us this year. We have my friend who's a comedian. We have some plans for the 1890s house this year. We have people, it's got the attention of a lot of people now. That we're able to share like what's in there, and like I wish we had our EVPs today, but
yeah.
Well, like I said, I hope to bring you back in a few months, and we'll start again and play all your evidence, okay?
That sounds great.
We take our evidence review very seriously, so we'll have even more for you then.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Gina, Amy, Don, thanks for coming on. It's been great. And
thanks for having me.
How can people find more information about you all? I know you've got a Facebook page, a YouTube page, anything else?
We also have a website.
Well, tell me about the website. What is it?
It is www.empiricalparanormal.com. official dot.
No,
wait.
That's the email address.
Oh no, that's the email. Sorry.
That's Empirical Paranormal.
Yeah. .com. Sorry.
I got you, girl.
Okay, so it's Empirical
Paranormal.com.
Okay, hope I spelled that right. I think I did.
And that's honestly,
Yeah, I think you did. Yeah.
Use it mostly for people who don't use Facebook to try to post our events on there.
Okay.
So people can do what we're doing. We got to add a lot more to it, but
Yeah.
we try to do what we can. We're only so many people, so.
Oh,
and also,
how many are there of you?
There's 8 of us.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a big team.
Go ahead, Gina. What was you going to say?
Also, a lot of our events are posted on our Facebook page as well. So if you keep an eye on our Facebook page, all of the information will be there. The ticket information, the links and everything are on there.
Okay. All right. So once again, empiricalparanormal.com and also Facebook under Empirical Paranormal. And what about YouTube? Is that the same thing?
Yes.
Under Empirical Paranormal.
Yep, just search Empirical Paranormal.
All right. Is that something people's going to have a lot of time, need a lot of time to sit and watch?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
We usually live stream our investigations whenever possible, so we just upload the whole video afterwards.
Outstanding. All right. Well, guys, I want to thank you all again for coming. You've been a blast. Do me a favor, stay on the line. I've got to say goodbye to my guests here, and I want to come back and chat with you a little bit.
All right.
Thank you. All right. Well, thanks for being on. I will talk to you in just
Thanks
a few
for
minutes.
having us.
Thank you.
Glad to. Glad you could make it. Wow, they're busy, and guys, they're doing the things that I used to do. They're doing the things that I want to do, which is help these buildings, help the folks who is trying to save the building to do so. And if it's, well, I'll tell you what, I was in the 1859 Marshall's House in Independence, Missouri. It's a big museum. It's a jail. Frank James was in there, and it's also the home where the Marshalls stayed. Very, very haunted place. But the curator of the museum told me his own people would ask him, why are you wasting our time and stuff with ghosts? And he said, I can get more people across that door with a ghost story than I can a history lesson. And I think that's true. I like that idea. So when you see these in your area, of course, if you can get up to New York, or if you're from around there, I know I've got a few people watching up there. Check this out. Check these folks out. But wherever you're at, there are almost every little town, historical places, and there's usually some ghost hunters trying to help it out. Back home in where I was from, we had the Harney Mansion, General Harney from the Civil War, and we did things there. We managed to save the building, and they're still working on the building, but now it's a event center and all kinds of stuff. Check these places out. It helps, and it preserves history, which is the most important thing for a lot of us. And hey, I also want to just remind you real quick of joining the Onyx Network. Of course, you get the podcast anyway. You guys, if you haven't been on it, YouTube, get onto Unexplained Network, or Onyx Network. It still follows that, but we have changed the name to Unexplained Network. 4 years it was the Onyx Network. I have a hard time changing that in my head. But anyway, you get access to the blog. If you're a full member, you go to unxnetwork.com, drop down on the front page. You can join up there, get access to the blog. And I'm telling you, folks, we were ahead of the most people on the Tic Tacs about a year ago with the Navy. A lot of other things, winged humanoids being seen, UFOs, cryptids, all of it's on there. We talk about it, witchcraft. Check that out. You also, not only from the blog, but you get the newsletter, which talks more about some of the shows we have. And of course, you also get access to the magazine, which comes to you by email every other month. And not only do you get that in your email, but you can buy a paper copy, which I often do. Get some really good writers. This one here on the left, I had 2 stories in about the haunted battleship North Carolina and one about Halloween legends. This one here, I had a story in that one about haunted dolls. And this one, you heard me talking to my friends there from New York. It was the Devil's Diner, very haunted place on Route 66, incredible history. We were trying to save it, but the tornado destroyed it before we could get enough money together for that. So that's a shame. I love that building. And I wrote an article just about the last call at the Devil's Diner. So great place. Point is, these historical places are everywhere. Go look for them. They are around. There's ghost hunters. You guys know I've done the Fox Theater in St. Louis. That was all just bringing money in just before COVID to help keep things going. And there's a lot of other stuff like that too. Check it out. I've told you about my friend Dr. Mark Farley is working on keeping the original Lemp Brewery going. And he's doing ghost tours of the Lemp Brewery in St. Louis. A lot of stuff going on. My friends down in Kansas go to Dodge City 2 or 3 times. They're helping to save some of the old opera houses and bars, saloons from the past. Check it out. Wherever you're at, some of this stuff is going on. I guarantee it. Okay, hey, do have to go. Got to move along. Thanks for being on. I want to again thank my guests with Empirical Paranormal in New York. I hope to get them back soon. Guys, it's almost, it's getting Christmas now and New Year's. New Year's, I guess, be coming up here pretty quick. So I do want to remind you all to drive safe if you're in a place, and I know the folks with Empirical Paranormal are in a place where the snow is way high during the wintertime. So be safe, stay warm. And I think, again, as I've always said, the most important thing I can ask of y'all, stay spooked. Good night.